Hello everyone, my name is Martijn Millecamp. I'm going to present my short paper, Cogito ergo quod, the effect of cognitive styles on transparent mobile music recommenders. Before I start presenting, I will introduce my co-authors, my colleague Haveneers, and my supervisor, Professor Katrien. We work all three at the KU Leuven, Belgium, in the Augment group and is led by my supervisor. 142,840,000. That is a number with which I want to start our presentation. This number is an estimation of the number of active Spotify users that uses a mobile device to listen to Spotify. Despite this large number of users, there is almost no research that investigates the use of recommender systems on mobile devices. One of the few exceptions is TagClick, a music recommendation app which significantly improved user experience in comparison with the Spotify app by allowing users to steer the recommendation process through enabling to input tags for the next song. However, one limitation of this study is that they provide all users with the same control. But other studies have shown that personal characteristics can influence the way users want and receive control. For example, one of these studies investigated the effect of personal characteristics on control. They implemented 3 levels of control and found that only users with a high domain experience preferred the highest level of control. However, control in itself is often not enough. To be able to control the recommendation process, users should also understand how the system works. One of the ways to make recommender systems transparent to the user is by providing explanations. The first study that used explanations to give insight about the reasoning of the recommender system was a study of Verbert et al., who explained the collaborative filtering approach by visualizing the ratings of the most similar names. Since then, a vast amount of research has shown that explanations could impact the understanding, trust, the effectiveness, satisfaction, and other perception metrics of users. However, Springer and Whittaker stated last year that even as the call for transparency is well motivated, there is still no consensus on how to implement transparency. Additionally, they also found that different users had various reactions to transparency, and they think that these differences may arise from individual user traits such as need for control and need for speed. Especially the latter has already shown to influence the interaction and the preference for explanation. In a study about different levels of argumentative explanation, this study found that users with an experiential thinking style showed more dependency on the levels of explanation than rational thinking. A similar result was found in the study of the music domain, which showed that users with a low need for cognition, which means a more intuitive thinking style, had more confidence in the playlists they created and explanations that were available. For users with a higher need for cognition, it was the opposite. One limitation of these both studies is that they did not investigate in depth the reason why cognitive style moderates perception of explanation. So, in this paper, we want to close these gaps by exploring the moderating effect of need for cognition on the needs for and the interaction with explanations on a mobile device. To do so, we implemented 2 mobile music recommender system interfaces on top of the Spotify, one with and one without explanation. On the start screen, users needed to select several artists they liked, which are then used by Spotify as seeds to generate a list of recommendations. In both interfaces, users were able to steer the recommendations by giving input about the music preference in terms of 5 different audio features. In the interface with explanations, users could click an info button to see the audio features of the recommended song, and they could see whether the song for that song fitted in the preferred range or not. In the next part, I will explain the study design. First, we asked users to fill in a questionnaire to measure the need for cognition, which is the tendency for an individual to engage in and enjoy effortful cognitive activity. In the second phase, we asked in total 25 Spotify users to create a playlist on both interfaces, either during personal maintenance or during social activity. To investigate the effect of explanations on the interaction with the system, we logged all possible actions during the creation of these playlists. In the last phase, users filled in 4 different open-ended questions. When do you need explanation? Why do you need explanation? If you would use this system on a desktop, would you then like explanation? Do explanations have an effect on your trust? Well, let's look how users interacted with the two interfaces. The first thing we noticed when we compared the interaction in the interface and with and without explanations is that users were more successful in steering the recommendations when there were explanations. In the interface with explanations, users did not visit the controls 2 times after each other, while this happened in the interface without explanations. This means that explanations help all users to steer the recommendations. Additionally, we also see that the effect of explanations is not the same for all users. In the interface with explanations, high need for cognition users play more often a preview and go more often to view the explanations, while users with a low need for cognition have a higher chance of adding a song to their playlist. We assume that this difference is due to the fact that high need for cognition users have a higher tendency for looking for the right information. In the interface with explanations, this means that they do the effort to click on a button to look for it. If we then look to the answer on the question, when do you need explanation, we identified 4 different categories. Users want explanations when they encounter unexpected results, when they are looking for specific music, only when they have time, and out of curiosity. If we look to the difference between high and low need for cognition, the biggest difference is that more low need for cognition users report that they only need explanations when they are looking for a very specific kind of music, and thus they otherwise do not want to put effort in looking to these explanations. This is in line with the results of the interaction, in which we could see that low need for cognition users go less to the explanations. To the question why users needed explanations, we could categorize the answer in 3 different categories. Users needing explanations to be able to steer the recommendation, users needing explanations to have transparency, and users needing explanations to learn about their own preference. If we then look at the difference between low and high need for cognition, we see that wanting explanations to be able to steer the recommendation is reported more frequent by high than by low need for cognition. This confirms again our assumption that high need for cognition want to put more effort in finding the right music, and thus are more willing to put effort in viewing the explanations to be able to steer the recommendation. Another question we asked was whether or not it would make a difference to see explanations on a desktop instead of a mobile device. Some users reported that they would like to see the explanations more visible and not behind the button. Others did not think that it would make a difference. Especially users with a high need for cognition reported that on a desktop the explanation should be more visible and not behind the button or in a separate tab. This would indicate that high need for cognition users would benefit from seeing all explanations at once, because an overview of the explanation can help them to steer the recommendation. The last question we asked was whether or not explanations increase the trust of the user. As the phrasing of the question was a yes or no, we got some replies that it increased the trust, but without the explanation why it is so. Other users did answer why and replied that the fact that the system is transparent increased already their trust. And the third category of users reported that explanations did not increase their trust, because they already have a trust relationship with Spotify. When we look at the differences between low and high need for cognition, we do not see big differences. So, for those who were lost along my presentation, I will quickly recap what we need to remember. First, in our study, we noticed that explanations could help to steer the recommendation process more efficiently, and that they can increase the trust of the user. Second, we learned that users with a high need for cognition put more effort to view explanations, and that they want explanations to be able to steer the recommendation. Additionally, they report that on a desktop, the explanations should be more visible and not behind the button. Third, for low need for cognition users, we see that they only want explanations that looking. So that was my presentation. Thanks for your attention.